Welcome to part 2 of designing your very own Decentraland hat wearable. Now that you've explored the template file and gotten used to the controls in Blender, it's time to make something from scratch. In this video, we'll be making a simple hat with some hair to go underneath, just to avoid your hat messing with your hairstyle. Follow along, pause whenever you'd like to, and just enjoy the process. Let's start with the template file from before. You can find it linked down below in the description. We're just going to start from here because we already have the Decentraland avatars imported. However, if you'd rather start from a brand new Blender file completely from scratch, you can also find a link down below to the official Decentraland avatars, which you can download and import into a fresh Blender scene. Let's make your hat. There's no wrong way to do this, so we'll start with the cleanest and easiest method. Let's add a primitive shape like a cube or a UV sphere. And we'll move it to where the head is, using G to grab and move, or those little visual gizmos that we looked at in part 1. Then we can use S to scale the shape to roughly the kind of size that we want for the hat. Then we can press Tab to go into edit mode and start adding more subdivisions and geometry here, which will allow us eventually to shape something that looks like a hat. There are a few skills that I would like to teach you here. One of them is how to add loops. So to add a loop, you just want to select one of your meshes and press Tab to go into edit mode. There you can press Ctrl R and you'll see a loop appear on the surface. Then with your scroll wheel on the mouse or with the numbers on your keyboard, you can decide how many loops you want to have on that surface. And then simply left click to confirm or right click to cancel this operation. You can also select different edges and dissolve them. This is like a manual way of removing the geometry, but doing it in a more controlled approach. So just select whatever you want to get rid of, right click, press dissolve edges. What this is going to do is reduce the geometry count of your model, which is important because we do still need to stay in roughly 1500 triangles per wearable. I also want to show you proportional editing. To enable this, you can press O or just click up here at the top. And by having this enabled, whenever you move, rotate, or scale a part of your model, everything else that is closely connected to it is going to move as well. And this is just going to give us a softer and more organic feel. It's easier for me to show you than to explain this. Combining those techniques with grab, rotate, and scale, or those visual tools that we looked at in part 1, is all you really need here to make your hat. Well, that and some time and some patience. Last but not least, don't forget your best friend is Control or Command Z. You can press it at any time to go back a step or to go back several steps. It's fine, don't worry about it. We're not chasing perfection here, we're just trying to get a little bit closer to hat shape, one step at a time. Next, let's start thinking about hair. Because hats usually sit on top of hair, it's important for us to consider what the hair is going to do whilst we're designing the hat. Thankfully, there is a very simple way to add hair to your Decentraland wearable. The Foundation have an open source library of hair assets which you can access, linked down below, and you can browse, download, and import any of those to make your wearable, and you can also feel free to edit them in any way that you would like. And just a quick reminder on how to import any GLB files, which these hair models are. You'll just want to go to File in Blender, press Import, select GLB or GLTF 2.0, find the model and select Import. If the model you're importing is a different format, like an FBX or an OBJ, just follow the same process, but instead of selecting GLB, select the file extension of your file that you're trying to import, like FBX for instance. One last thing, with different Blender versions over the years, sometimes weird things happen. So if you import a Decentraland wearable model and you find that the skeleton, the bones are looking very strange, just go back, Control or Command Z, or delete that file that you imported. Go ahead and import it again and take a closer look at this import screen. You have options for how you want Blender to calculate the bones. And if you select Temperance or Fortune, you'll find that the bones actually import and look just like they do on the screen here, which will make your life a lot easier later on. If you imported one of these Decentraland hair models and you look in the Materials tab, you'll find that the hair material is already set up perfectly so that players can customize their hair color when they're in world. This is a really fun feature to have, but if for any reason you don't want players to be able to customize their hair color, all you need to do is change the name of this material and just remove the word hair from it. Once we're happy with our hat and how it sits, it's time to gradually keep refining it. So let's use those tricks I showed you earlier to gradually get the silhouette looking more like the way we want it to. This part is very subjective, so take your time, and I would highly advise having some reference pictures on the screen of what you're trying to make. It's just going to make the whole process a lot easier, trust me. Now we've already discussed the hair material, but we haven't covered the hat material just yet. We did briefly cover it in part 1 of this series, and we looked into how to add a flat color to a mesh. So just to recap that, if you wanted to add a flat color to this hat, you could create a new material, and in the shader editor you should see a principled BSDF node. If you don't, then please add one. And the principled BSDF node, which sounds very complicated, but it's really not, just ignore the long word. It has an input called base color. Now if you click there, it will open up a color wheel, and you can select whichever color you want there, and that will become the flat base color for your mesh. So that's the simplest way to add a material, is just to add a flat color. Now if you want to take it a step further, you can add in an image texture node and plug that into the base color of your principled BSDF node. In the image texture, you just want to upload any image that you want to see reflected onto the hat, but I would highly recommend that you keep the size to 1024 by 1024 pixels. And this is just so that the Decentraland engine can read it, play around with this, and try adding in different image textures and see how different patterns can look on your model. We will dive much further into materials as we progress in this series, but for now, if you can add a flat color and a pattern onto a mesh, you're doing really well. One last thing before we wrap up this video. When you're modeling and you're refining shapes, it can be very easy to get carried away, and before you know it, we have way too many triangles in our model. So I would recommend just keeping an eye on your triangle count as you progress. And the way for you to see your triangle count, if it's not on your screen already, is just to go up here to the overlays menu, click it, and enable statistics. Once that's enabled, in the top left hand corner of your Blender screen, you can see how many triangles the model that you have selected has. And that's it. You just made a whole hat for Decentraland from scratch. Nice work. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in part 3.